coming up around after the 11th, 10th or the 11th across the area. Going out 180 hours now, we can currently see where the high pressure is located. This is still a very good location. And look at those winds coming up right into Arizona. That is amazing. That is, if this model verifies, that is very good. We got the jet stream off to the northwest. We have a nice southeasterly wind coming up. And again, look what it's pointing at. Another inverted trough here. All right, it's right here. This low pressure is another inverted trough. All right, then there's another inverted trough over parts of eastern Colorado that could swing down right into Arizona and parts of New Mexico. So some more severe weather, perhaps, we can be looking at. We got to take a look at Cape on these days, because sometimes the Cape is actually higher in the deserts than it is in the mountainous regions. All right. Going out a little even further now, we're going to go out to the 18th. All right, Tuesday the 18th. Where is high pressure? Well, it really doesn't move much, to be honest with you. We got it sitting over here over northeastern Colorado, New Mexico, and it's, again, clockwise flow of air, bringing more moisture. And the jet stream is kind of close to Arizona, so we could be looking at more severe thunderstorms. Again, depending on how much Cape instability and lift there is on these days, which we won't know to a day before or 2 days before at the most. But this gives you a general idea of where the monsoon high is setting up for the North American monsoon. All right, so let's go to the very end, the very, very end, the 21st, and see where high pressure is at this point. All right, southwestern or south central New Mexico. We still have a very moist flow of air coming up through the central deserts. But look, we got a little bit of a southwesterly wind. Now, what we tend to get in these type of scenarios is we tend to get isolated thunderstorms in the deserts, mainly in the higher terrain areas, such as Gila Bend, Ajo, those areas. And they send outflows and help to trigger more very isolated thunderstorms. But they can be fast-moving and damaging. We can see wet microbursts, we can see supercells in that type of environment as well. But again, with the high pressure here, that is not a very good location to get widespread thunderstorm activity. This actually, if it moves even further to the west, if the high pressure moves further to the west over, say, Yuma, we could be looking at a significant monsoon break. But the way this model's pinpointing it, we still got some southerly, southwesterly winds in here. That might still have enough moisture to bring us a threat of showers and thunderstorms. So that's going out to the 21st, guys. So this gives you an idea of where the monsoon high is across the area. And what about moisture? We want to know where there's moisture, where there's rainfall, and stuff like that, right? So let's take a look at the GFS model and see where it pinpoints. Now, keep in mind the GFS lately has been very dry. It has been a very dry model. Just last week it was overly wet. So you really cannot hang your hat on one particular given day as to what's going to do, all right? You just can't. You can't do that because you really don't want to forecast more than a couple of days out, especially during monsoon season, all right? You don't want to forecast too much because if you go too far out, things can change very rapidly. All right, so let's take a look at the moisture variability. All right, this is on the 21st. I'm just showing you this for a comparison, but take a look what's going on here. The central deserts are still moist, even in a southwesterly flow. And if that moisture is present, we could be looking at severe supercell thunderstorms containing large hail, damaging winds, torrential rainfall, and deadly cloud-to-ground lightning across the area. This is on the 21st, but let's go back in time a little bit and see when we think the monsoon rains may start getting close to the valley locations. Okay, let's go at 54 hours, see if we got anything going on. This is on Friday the 7th. You can kind of see there's just very hit and miss, isolated activity. Again, these models have been dry, okay? They've been very dry, and they're not really have been much help whatsoever for any of us. So it makes forecasting very tough. All right, so we have to watch for little low pressure systems that get caught up in the easterly winds. All right, so this is Saturday the 8th. You can see there's a little bit of moisture in through the central deserts, mainly southeast of Phoenix right now. But there is moisture coming in. Okay, so remember our high is located over Utah or southwest Colorado at this point. So definitely a good location to get moisture in. Let's go up to 42 hours. I'm just curious here. Let's go back a little bit here. See if... Okay. This is on the 7th. We can see the thunderstorms coming in a northeasterly flow here. And it looks like we could see a little bit of outflow or new development of this. It looks like a gravity wave almost with these isobars here. With the winds. It definitely looks like we could be looking at a gravity wave. And basically what a gravity wave is you have a lot of mid and upper level cloudiness with a few low clouds here and there. And a gravity wave is a difference in pressure over a small area in the atmosphere that can help, they call it like a ribbon, like almost like a Rossby wave type of situation. But with these gravity waves, they can sometimes trigger late night convective activity, sometimes becoming widespread and even developing into an MCS. So we're going to have to closely watch, even though this model doesn't indicate a whole lot of rain over the Phoenix area on the 7th, we definitely have to keep an eye on that day, only for the fact that we could be looking at gravity waves coming in, different things that can enhance thunderstorms even into the nighttime hours. So that's going to have to be watched closely. 60 hours. Yeah, kind of clears up after that. Let's go out to about 108 on the 10th and see what's going on here. We can kind of see we've got isolated showers and thunderstorms over New Mexico. Some down to the south. Looks like an MCS is going to form over northern Sonora. Yeah, and then that kind of explodes. We have thunderstorms coming off of the rim in a northeasterly fashion and from the southeast. Converging outflows from north and south can oftentimes lead to numerous thunderstorms in the deserts, some which could be strong to severe on those days. Yeah, looks like the 10th into the 11th, late night of the 10th, excuse me, looks very stormy across the Phoenix area. So I'd say the safe bet that the rains definitely look like they're going to arrive by the 10th. That was my final forecast date. So again, this seems to be matching up with that quite nicely. So I'm expecting rains in the Phoenix area by late on the 9th. Could be as early as the 9th. And into the 10th. Now, don't be surprised, guys, if we actually see thunderstorms on the 7th. That's right. We could see thunderstorms in the Phoenix area on the 7th, mainly east and southeast valleys. It won't surprise me at all, again, because we have to watch those gravity waves that come in. So that could be, even though this model may not be indicating much moisture on those on Thursday, Friday, we need to keep an eye on gravity waves. I can't stress that enough, that we get these little low pressure systems that come in the flow and enhance shower and thunderstorm activity, even though the chance may be zero. That has happened. I've seen it happen numerous times. All right, this is Tuesday the 11th. And it looks like a relatively stormy day here for parts of Arizona, especially the central deserts, north and central Arizona. Definitely look quite wet across the area. Going out a little bit more, 168. This is the 12th. And you can see there's like a little bit of a break. Okay, that means there's going to be less moisture. And usually after a big stormy day in Phoenix, we get 1 to 4 days of quieter weather, which is very isolated hit and miss showers and thunderstorms, and they mainly stay in the mountains. This is the 13th. You can kind of see, yeah, there's like a break going on. There's kind of like a loop, a hole, and you can see just very isolated showers and thunderstorms here on the 13th. Very isolated stuff. Sonora is going to be quite active. But it looks like a little bit of a break. Not a major break, just a small one. Here's the late on the 13th. So I'm thinking on the 13th there'll be some very isolated showers and thunderstorms around, to be honest with you guys. Here's the 14th, the possible severe weather day. Let's see if this expands in coverage at all. Yeah, it looks like some hit and miss showers and thunderstorms for central and southern Arizona, most numerous north of Cottonwood, Arizona. So definitely we could be looking at some possible severe thunderstorms, though isolated to scattered in nature. Across the area, so we're not looking at a whole big widespread outbreak or anything, at least not at this point. And there's late on the 14th, you can see just again hit and miss stuff, really nothing too interesting. On the 15th could be a slightly more active day. Looks like more moisture is available. Could be looking at some isolated severe thunderstorms, so we'll have to keep a close eye on that as well. And then this is going way out in time. This is the 16th. It looks relatively quiet. Just isolated stuff on the 16th. 17th, southerly flow across the area. Again, very isolated stuff. '18th, very hit and miss. So we'll go to low-grade monsoon for a while. And the 19th looks like a little bit of an uptick. 20th could see some showers and thunderstorms in the valleys again. Alright, very end of the period. So the 21st, it looks like another possible severe weather outbreak. So again, it looks like there's going to be some breaks in between. Again, you cannot take these models wholeheartedly like that. You cannot do that. That is not going to help you guys at all. This is, again, very far out. And a lot can change between now and then. But again, a couple active days are definitely coming up after the 7th across the area. We could be definitely looking at some increasing moisture across the region, increasing chances of showers and thunderstorms for sure across the area. So the monsoon is going to arrive sometime after the 7th for certainty. All right, let's take a look at total accumulated rainfall over the area. And we can see... yeah, we're looking at anywhere between 1 and 1.5 inches of rain to fall over these next 2 weeks. So it's relatively decent, to be honest with you guys. Looks like we're going to have a pretty good soaking of rainfall across the area. And hopefully this pans out quite well. That's what we're hoping for anyway. And we'll look at one other model real quick. On the assemble member, GEPS, moisture, total accumulated rainfall. Now, this one predicts about 1.25 to 1.75, almost 2 inches of rain for the central areas over a 2-week period, which is quite possible. It's a pretty realistic model, to be honest with you. And we see even parts of southern California gets a little bit wet with around 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain. So either way you guys look at it, the monsoon is going to arrive here after the 7th. I'm expecting an arrival date late on the 9th into the morning of the 10th for the central deserts, including the Phoenix metropolitan area. All right, so a couple more dry days here, guys. Unfortunately, we're going to be ramping up the heat, though. Excessive heat with humidity. And again, after Friday, very isolated showers and thunderstorms. But again, we'll watch for gravity waves because we'll be looking at some late night convection across the area. Again, this video was quite long. Please leave questions or comments down below. I will answer them in a very timely manner for you guys. This is going to be a 2, perhaps 3-part video. We'll keep you guys posted on the North American monsoon as it makes its appearance here later on this week into the weekend. And we can't wait for its arrival, many of us. Some people hate the monsoon, some people love the monsoon. For you guys who love or insist on calling it the summer thunderstorm season, you're welcome to call it that. I have no problem with you guys calling it that whatsoever. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. There's no right or wrong answers. But science has proven that we do, in fact, have a small-scale monsoon system that affects the desert Southwest. So we'll keep you guys posted, and we hope for a good monsoon season this year. It looks like it's going to be relatively decent. July could end up being wetter than average across the area, and as well as August. September, it's a give or take. 50-50 chance it'll be wet, 50-50 chance it'll be dry. And October, at this time, looks a little bit wetter than average with possible severe weather outbreaks, similar to the summer of 2010. We'll keep you guys posted on that one. Could be seeing some large hail across the deserts this year. We'll keep you guys posted and talk to you all later. Thanks for watching.